सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. I welcome you all with my love and respects. We will continue from today on Patanjali Yoga Sutras. From today, next 10 days, I will be spending I'll be doing elaborate discussions, spending a lot of time. Maybe I will be talking on 2-3 sutras, because from today, next 1 week, all the ashramites will have holiday from their department. Only the essentials will run, like a kitchen, temple. All other departments can take off. Next 1 week, we will concentrate on the spiritual accounting. Means seeing what we achieved spiritually, how much we raised consciously in last 1 year, what way we can raise in this year. So every year we will dedicate the first 1 week of the year for spiritual accounting. So except the essentials, we'll wind up all the departments and rest. This is my instruction to all the ashramites all over the world, all the ashrams, temples, centers. Next 1 week, only the essentials, like a temples, kitchen, which we can't shut down. All other possible departments without which we can survive, please shut down everything. And next 1 week, spend time in spiritual contemplation and spiritual accounting. What we gained spiritually internally last year, this year what we can gain. So from today, I will be speaking maybe 2 or 3 hours. So devotees who are coming every day online, live satsang, please note down. From tomorrow, make at least 2-3 hours available every morning. I may speak on 2-3 sutras and do the question answers. This itself, this may be a full morning session, and taking you guys into the next level of spiritual awareness, sharing enlightenment. Next level of consciousness, sharing enlightenment. I'll prepare all of you this 1 week, especially for sharing enlightenment. Now it's time. We enter into the sutra. Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, 89th Sutra, 2nd chapter, 38th verse. A very powerful sutra, beautiful sutra. Brahmacharya pratishtayam viryalabhaha. Right sutra to start. Swami Vivekananda's translation says, by being established in continence, the yogi gains energy. Swami Prabhavananda translates as, when a man becomes steadfast in his abstention from incontinence, he acquires spiritual energy. Swami Sachidananda translates as, by one established in continence, vigor is gained. Let me give my understanding on Brahmacharya Pratishtayam Viryalabhaha. People usually ask me, what do you mean, Swamiji? You reading all those great masters like Vivekananda's translation and then adding your own translation, you think yours is much better than theirs? Just a few days before I got the question. See, I am not saying mine is better or greater and all that. Maybe Vivekananda did not spend much time on this sutra or on this scripture. Very casually he translated. Or he would have deputed that job to some disciples who would have done it very superficially. Then he would have commented it, spending very less time. I am not saying theirs is lower or no. All I am saying is, fortunately, I have more time to spend on these great books. Unfortunately, Vivekananda did not have a battalion of disciples when he was doing all this work. And no audio video recording possibility. Because if you see, the Reminiscences says, he spoke on Yoga Sutras in Thousand Islands Park in USA. Every day he conducted hours. It says that morning they will cook. Only a small group of people stayed around him. Morning they will cook and eat, and then the sessions will go on till evening. And they will have their dinner. It seems they used to have 2 meals. That's what the Reminiscences say. Then after the dinner again, they will whole night, it will go on till late night. And they will go and rest for 2-3 hours. But when you see the transcription, it doesn't look like on each sutra he pondered for hours. So I feel, because there was no audio recording or video recording facility, much was lost. So I just wanted some of the people who had this question to understand. Maybe he did not have much time to ponder, or whatever he expressed did not get recorded completely. That's all I feel. Anyhow, I have time. Fortunately, I have audio and video recording facility. And very fortunately, I don't need to travel to relate with the world because of our video conferencing facilities. Actually, exactly whatever I wanted is happening by the so-called unfortunate scandal. See, last 1 year I was talking. I don't want to travel here and there and waste time. And this is only one body, rare phenomena. I don't want to put the body into the risk of continuously putting it in the flight and in the cars and traveling. More traveling is more risk. So I always was thinking about it, and last 1 year I was continuously talking about it. I don't want to go around continuously just to give Kalpataru darshan and all that. I think we'll have to find some way. Existence is just making everything. So, and another one thing, master in a stable sangha is required in the initial time. The initial time for a conscious regeneration movement to happen, a master in a stable sangha where he is available every day at particular time for the community people, means the sangha people, where he is available at particular time for the administration, where he is available at particular time for a common man, where he is available for a particular time for people who come for healing or blessing. That stability of the time and place is essential for things to evolve, for the reproducible model to evolve. See, now, whoever stayed last 1 year in our community can just replicate whatever we are doing in different places. Because now if I put you as a head of an ashram, in charge of an ashram, you know that. Morning, wake up, do samana yoga, come and do Guru Puja, then give a morning satsang. If video conferencing available, relay Swamiji's message directly. If that is not possible, at least take the essence of yesterday or day before yesterday's morning satsang and talk to people, share that idea in the language which people understand. If it is a Hindi belt, talk in Hindi. If it is a Slovakian belt, talk in Slovakia. If it is a Russian belt, talk in Russian. Continue. Then whole day, take care of the other classes or sessions or administration. Evening again, come and sit for Aarti or unclutching session. And you have the whole day, you know the routine. You know what to do. This reproducible models who can share enlightenment happens only if a master is available in one place intensely, clearly, in a particular time, in a stable way. Fortunately, we did that using this whole year. Last year we did that. You guys don't know. Almost 10 years I struggled to bring people to a stable routine. Now I can say I'm successful. I'm successful. Whole community. See, 90% of the community comes and settles down for morning Pada Puja. No, even for the Samana Yoga. And even the 10% which is not here is at least having the idea something is going on, they are supposed to be here, they are not here. So they know at least next day they have to be here. So we have come to that stability, which is a great achievement. Not a joke. Very great achievement. Every day, some ideas are constantly put into the consciousness, and at least till next 24 hours. Till you come back next day, it goes on inside. It goes on inside. You see, understand? The community life, the life of the life with the master has become an intense enlightenment training just because of this morning satsang part. Because of that morning Samana Yoga, and one solid truth being put inside your consciousness, even if you are busy with some other activity, this stays inside you as like undercurrent and goes on grinding you, and polishing you, drilling you. I tell you, the quality of the consciousness has drastically increased and exploded in last 1 year. No, really. Really. I'm very happy about it. I'm really, really happy about it. Now it is time we create this kind of intense people and educate them to go around and share enlightenment with the world. Legally strong, socially clear, technically savvy, and spiritually enlightened. Legally strong, socially clear, technically savvy, spiritually enlightened. These are the kind of people we want now to share the enlightenment with the world. And I am really happy we are successful because of all the modern day gadgets available. So from this week, every day morning, 49 countries can have a live satsang with me through video conferencing. We are installing a unit. 49 countries can have live satsang. Means two-way satsang. They can ask questions. That's the way I'm planning now. After the video conferencing facility is established, I'll be pushing the satsang little early. I'll make it to 6 so that you guys can finish Samana Yoga 5 to 6 and be here by 6 itself, because I wanted to do every day 6 to 9, 3 hours, these sessions and question answers from around the world, everything. First morning 3 hours, intense spiritual work. See, during the Inner Awakening program, we will have 1 hour morning satsang. So ashramites can go on with their routine. Whenever we don't have any of that kind of programs, We will have 3 hours morning satsang. I'll speak on the deeper and deeper truths. Not only that, we don't need to stop with a one day, one sutra. I can go on a day, 2, 3 sutras, so that I can complete this Yoga Sutra and start Brahma Sutras. I wanted to start Brahma Sutras next. Brahma Sutra is actually science of sharing enlightenment. Understand? Shiva Sutra is science of living enlightenment. Yoga Sutra is science of radiating enlightenment. Brahma Sutra is science of sharing enlightenment. Brahma Sutra will give you the technical strength, intellectual clarity to do the Kandana Mandana. Means break the illusory logic. See, the energy darshan, Kundalini darshan, exactly what I do, I just move your deep-rooted arrogant ego for a few moments and add the consciousness into your inner space. But unfortunately, that ego tries to take over, back. If we can do the Kandana Mandana to you, means the destroying the illusory logic, darkness, through the Brahma Sutra, the ego which is trying to take over will not have any power. Will not have any power. The darkness will not have any power. It will just be superficial, very relaxed. It will be only alive how much you need to run the body and mind for the day-to-day activity. Like it will tell, oh, now your body is feeling little hungry, please give food. You will go and eat. It will tell, please give little water. You will eat. I think I may be having back pain. Please, can you lie down for next 2 hours? All right, I'll lie down. I think my eyes are a little tired. For last 4 days we have not slept. Can you give rest for 3 hours? You will sleep. That's all. That much only the ignorance will be alive. See, having the ignorance to run just the body and mind is what we call living prarabdha. Nothing more is there. Nothing else is there. That much will be there till the body drops. That nothing can be done. Till the body drops, that much will be there. So nothing wrong with that. So this kind of an intense living happens when the Kandana Mandana Vada happens. Means the Kandana, destroying the ignorant logic, destroying the abusive logic. So we'll use the time more and more to explore the deeper and deeper spiritual things. And not only that, we should also be aware, in just last 1 year, the number of hours, the knowledge we delivered to the world is equivalent to the whole 9 years. In last 9 years, see, from 2000, I came to the public life, 2000 to 2009, how much we gave it to the world through YouTube. In that 9 years, what we gave, equivalent to that, just 2010, we gave it to the world. So this year, 2011, 3 times more than what we contributed in last whole 10 years. From 2000 to 2010, what we contributed means, I think 1,200 videos. This year, just 2011 alone, apart from that 1,200, at least 3,600 hours we will contribute. I'll continue. At least 3,600 videos will contribute to the world, 3 times more. And let's create and share the deep technical spiritual truths with the world, because fortunately I have time, and the science as all the gadgets like audio, video, archiving, all the facilities and the gadgets. Let us use everything and tell the world what we need to tell, what we need to share. Today's sutra, Brahmacharya Pratishtayam Viryalavaha. My translation is going to be rebellious or revolutionary. That is the reason I gave such a long introduction. Especially during this time, me talking about Brahmacharya. Understand, Patanjali says, Brahmacharya Pratishtayam Viryalavaha. Means, if you are established in Brahmacharya, you will have the tremendous strength, energy, vitality, vigor, virility is acquired, gained. Let us do the reverse calculation. Don't translate the word Brahmacharya immediately. No, I don't want to translate that word Brahmacharya directly. I wanted to translate all other words. Brahmacharya Pratishtayam Viryalavaha. Let's translate the word Viryalavaha. Means virility, vitality, energy is gained. Energy. Labhaha means gained. Pratishtayam means established. So, Brahmacharya, the word should have some meaning in which if you are established, you will gain tremendous energy. Is it not? I am coming to the clear mathematical equation. If you translate the word Brahmacharya as per the so-called orthodox unconscious way, celibacy or suppression, I wanted to ask all the so-called honest celibates, can you really vouch honestly for the meaning Viryalavaha? No. I am clear. I have seen millions of so-called suppressed celibates. That is not going to come. That is not going to justify the word Viryalavaha. Then what is the exact meaning? It's very technical and complicated. See, not having physical relationship is one part of Brahmacharya, but you need to understand important thing, a very important fact, an important truth. How that is experienced. See, just not having physical relationship means there are millions of handicapped people or people who have sexual diseases or problems, disorders. They all don't have physical relationship. But do they have the Viryalava? Do they gain energy? No. Then there is something seriously wrong in translating this word Brahmacharya as superficially celibacy. No. Something needs to be understood. We need to look in. The word Brahmacharya means living like a god. First thing need to be done is breaking the idea you are body. That is why Patanjali uses the word Brahmacharya Pratishtayam, established. I tell you, You cannot be established in brahmacharya unless you break the idea you are body. So the first thing need to be done is breaking the idea you are a body, not anything else. Please understand. Breaking the idea you are body is the first thing. So the word brahmacharya, how it is translated, plays a major role on the technique, understanding, path and destination. Please understand. Just yesterday I was reading Aurobindo's book on nationalism, a very powerful book. I really miss Aurobindo. People like him, unfortunately, did not choose to stay in the body for a longer time. He could have chosen, because he's a yogi. He's not just a Vedanti, he's a yogi. Means he had mastery over the body. Still I really wonder why even people like a Paramahamsa Yogananda, who has mastery over body, decided to leave the body so early. And just like Paramahamsa Yogananda's body, Aurobindo's body did not get spoiled after he left the body. It took, they took a lot of time before doing the last rites and resting it and all that. But even during all that period, not a single symptom or the sign of death was there on his body. So he was a yogi who has a mastery over the body. Yesterday I was reading his book on nationalism. You may think, when did I get time to read? Actually, by 12 or 12:30 I finished the energy session and went round. Maybe around 1 o'clock I reached the room. To fall asleep, it took around 3 o'clock for me. Till that 2 hours, I was reading this only. Sitting and reading his book on nationalism. He uses a word, divine, so he uses a very beautiful word. Only if you understand the India's divine origin, you will be able to fulfill its divine destination. Please understand. Only if you understand India's divine origin, you will be able to fulfill its divine destiny. Same way, only if you understand the word brahmacharya's divine origin, you will be able to fulfill its divine destiny. The word India and word brahmacharya, both are equally complicated and sacred and mystical. Just like Bharat, India is too complicated to be translated in one word. Brahmacharya also too complicated to be translated by one word. If somebody translates India, third world country, or growing country, or largest democracy, just like that only. The celibacy, the brahmacharya is translated into celibacy, continence, superficial words. You need to understand, you see, the not having relationship, physical relationship, yes, it will be a part of brahmacharya, no doubt. But that alone is not brahmacharya. These hanging clothes are part of Chitsabha, but that alone is not Chitsabha. This hanging cloth cannot hold the Chitsabha. If you are thinking, oh, these hanging clothes are only holding the roof, then it is equivalent to you thinking you are intelligent and because of you, the department which you are having is running. You may be hanging cloth in the department where you are working. That's all, nothing else. The word brahmacharya need to be understood. You need to understand the divine origin of that word. Only then you can fulfill its divine destiny or destination. If the translation is wrong, then the technique, methodology, technical understanding to achieve that state also will be wrong. That is why I am insistent. Let the word be understood as living like God. Means every moment breaking the idea you are just body. Should be the technical knowledge and technique for brahmacharya. When that happens, slowly you get established into brahmacharya. As a side effect of that establishment, not having physical relationship happens. Then you can be initiated into brahmacharya. Or you can declare yourself as brahmachari. Actually, nobody else can initiate you into brahmacharya. Even I can initiate you only into the technique of brahmacharya. Only you need to declare yourself as brahmachari. Only in marriage you can give daughter. You can't give brahmacharya. What a complete misconstruction, misunderstanding, a wrong idea. You can neither give brahmacharya to me, nor you can declare me as brahmachari. I need to become established in brahmacharya, and I need to declare to the world I am brahmachari. I am just taking care that I don't lose my honesty and integrity. I don't get corrupted. I am really feeling that somehow this new batch which came after the scandal is highly fresh and new and intelligent. Somehow if these guys can retain without getting corrupted, that is nothing like that. It will be a great achievement for these fellows for their personal spiritual growth. See, when the moment you decide to be celibate, practically you don't need anything from the world. You don't need a separate room. You don't need privacy. You don't need to glorify your body. You don't need to glorify your mind. You don't need to glorify your identity. Understand? Every sound which bird creates is nothing but a call for the female bird. Same way, every action a normal man does, whether making himself rich or making himself powerful, making himself intelligent, making himself glorious, is nothing but a call for the female. That's all. In different angle, that's all. Call for women. So, when that major part is removed, suddenly you fall into the tremendous tamas, depression, non-doing. Understand? If you don't settle into the being, but drop the doing, you will fall into the tamas. The non-doing should happen in you only after the non-duality. After the understanding of non-duality, non-doing should happen. I have seen many people lying down whole day. Unless you work for non-duality, if the non-doing happens in you, it's a sin. Understand? It's a sin. It's a tamas, depression. So if the brahmacharya is translated as celibacy, then straight away you try to put yourself in non-doing without having non-duality. Please understand. One of the worst thing happened to the monastic traditions all over the world. After a certain period, the monasticism becomes a social prestige for them. They forget about the spiritual growth and put all their energies to hold on to the brahmacharya vow, celibacy vow. That was one of the worst thing. Please understand. First, in the initial level, they have the misunderstanding or wrong guidance. If you become a celibate, you will become enlightened. Then they get into that. After some time, they take some vows and all that and become public figures. When they become public figures, after that, that identity becomes more important than their very enlightenment. So internally, they are continuously, constantly struggling to hold on to that vow than to the enlightenment. So that itself freezes their swadhisthana, the fear. See, you are supposed to be afraid of being caught in fear and greed. Not even afraid, you are supposed to be aware of not to be caught in fear and greed. Now, you are caught in the fear of greed. Understand? Fear of being caught in the greed. Wow. 10 times processed poison. It's like you hate tamarind rice. One day because your wife gave the tamarind rice, you hate and you get upset, divorce her in that anger, just like how so many so-called ex-disciples divorced the master in some anger. Of course, that divorce and this divorce is different. It's a conscious divorce. And you escape from the house because of tamarind rice. You run around here and there, here and there, here and there, and you don't find any place to rest, and you finally sleep under the tamarind tree. Eat the tamarind fruit and stay in the tamarind, under the tamarind tree. That's exactly is what taking up celibacy vows and creating an identity out of it. And after that, the fear of being caught in greed holds the swadhisthana and whole life in depression. Ramakrishna says, a failed sadhu is 100 times greater than successful grihastha, married man. With all my humble respect and gratitude and love to Ramakrishna, first time I differ with him in public. A failed grihastha will be 1,000 times greater and stronger in spiritual growth than a so-called suppressed celibate. Successful suppressed celibate. Because the belt he creates in swadhisthana, fear of being caught in greed, will become so solid. The seeker needs to take at least 10 more janma to break that belt. I tell you. The whole Indian conscience is suffering with this suppression. You need to achieve brahmacharya. I am not saying no to it. Brahmacharya is the goal. But the right understanding of that word, brahmacharya means living like a god. establishing yourself in non-duality first, then non-doing. But if you put the non-doing first, all possible perversions, all possible diversions, finally that image itself becomes a big headache. Not normal, ordinary, big headache. We need to spend more time in this topic, having more and detailed understanding. See, whenever so-called distractive thoughts related to celibacy is coming, if you try to suppress for enlightenment, it becomes suppression. If you try to suppress because it will disturb your social identity, it will again become perverted suppression. If you handle, I am not the body, the idea, I am not the body is used to break that disturbing thought, then it is brahmacharya. Understand? I am defining clearly. When a disturbing thought, which may wanted to break your celibacy, when it raises in you, if you suppress it with the idea, oh, I have to have enlightenment, I don't want this, then it's a suppression. Or with the idea, no, it will disturb my social status, or the social identity I am projecting to the world, or my social stability, then it is perverted suppression. If you feel, no, I am not the body, I am something beyond, I am just using this body to exhaust, finish off all the prarabdha. This body and mind is just an instrument. If this understanding clicks with you and you establish yourself in brahmacharya, that disturbing thought goes away, you are a brahmachari. I can say this is a subtlest techniques and clarity. The thought with which, the purpose with which, the idea with which brahmacharya is achieved is more important than the brahmacharya itself. Understand? The idea with which, the clarity with which, understanding with which celibacy is achieved is more important than the celibacy itself. I think I am breaking one of the major blockage Indian conscience is carrying for last 10,000 years. It is always taught the celibacy is more important than the idea with which it is achieved. That is why in some sampradayas, sadhus even cut their genitals. Cutting the genitals is not going to be making you celibate. No, really. They put a lock and key. They put a lock literally. That is not going to lead you to celibacy. No. The method in which the celibacy is achieved is far more important than the celibacy itself. I can say this is my original, honest, integrated, straight contribution to the Indian Hindu Vedic tradition. With this one understanding, if the scriptures are rewritten, revalued, reviewed, millions of suffering and struggle which Indian conscience is having will be cleared. India will be liberated. The Indian youth does not need to lose their identity to enjoy life. See, the worst thing happened. Because of this one suffering and conspiracy, misunderstanding, if the Indian youth wanted to chill out, if they wanted to spend some time, if they want to enjoy life, they have to ban Indian tradition. No. Indian tradition is not against life. Indian tradition is not against life. You need to know it. You need to understand it. You need to realize it. So, the way in which celibacy is achieved is more important than the celibacy itself. That is why I am saying I cannot translate the word brahmacharya into celibacy. It has to be translated as living like God. Only if you live like God, you will have the virya labhaha. You will have virya labhaha. And brahmacharya pratishtayam virya labhaha, being established in the consciousness of living like God, you achieve vitality and energy and you radiate it. That's all. If this is the translation, everybody knows I am a brahmachari. The other day, one foolish journalist, not even foolish, cunning, a reporter, he was asking me, are you a renunciant? I just looked into him and said, do you know the meaning for it? I said, as per there is millions of definition for renunciant. As per my definition, as per the accepted definition of the Vedic tradition, I am not only a renunciant, doesn't know the ABC of renunciation. These guys are talking about renunciation to me. That idiot I know for sure straight would have gone to the bar after the press meet. By seeing his body, I can see it is a beer belly. Without beer or brandy, he can't sleep. This idiot is talking about renunciation to me. People won't even laugh through mouth. So Patanjali very clearly says, brahmacharya pratishtayam virya labhaha, means the vitality, energy is gained. Any process, if the energy is not gained, please understand, in suppression you will become only more and more and more dull. I have seen. If you understand the meaning of brahmacharya is living like God, you are Paramahamsa. You will make people as Paramahamsa. If you misunderstand brahmacharya as ordinary just celibacy, you will be in Paramahimsa and you will make people as you will give Paramahimsa. Whether you are a Paramahamsa or in Paramahimsa, this one word will decide. The understanding of this one word will decide whether you are a Paramahamsa or you are in Paramahimsa. I tell you, being celibate for social reasons is the Paramahimsa. Worst hell. I know. Some of these guys, they take up celibacy in some reason. I have seen one guy, I asked him, why did he become Swami? He was a Swami for 20 years. He said, I saw all these buildings. I thought, if in this whole ashram only 20 people are there. So if I become Swami, at least I will get one building as a share. No, there are fools who became celibates for building. Instead of building celibacy, they became celibates for building. In that kind of celibacy, there is no virya labha, there may be dana labha. Dana labha or Aishwarya labha, that's all. Understand? That is not Brahmacharya. So Brahmacharya means which straight away brings virya labha. I tell you, the moment you think, I am not body. The moment you come to that awareness, immediately you see the different energy in you. Yes. The moment you witness, I am beyond body and mind, understand the different energy. So with this click, if you are established in celibacy, you are brahmachari. Understand? Otherwise, the ordinary celibacy only leads to more and more and more complication. When you are established in brahmacharya, celibacy also happens in you. Celibacy also happens in you. But not dull, dead, non-doing. Celibacy. It's a live, intense, vital, energetic celibacy. Alive brahmacharya. So, I bless you all to experience, to achieve, experience, live, express, radiate and share the eternal bliss, Nityananda. Thank you.